Cool. So Kiersti's one of our very, very famous and successful, just as like, what's her name, Jennifer Lawrence, graduate students. And we want to, so this is all going to be edited out, so it doesn't matter. We want to hear from you, specifically what strategies you used while you were a graduate student. And making faces like that was not a strategy you used.
Yeah, it was.
And so specifically, I can piece this out better, but how you balanced the work you did with the classes and the research, and then you were teaching on top of it, which you still continue today. So those 4 things, I don't think it's very easy. Just a master's degree alone isn't easy, but you seem to be able to do so much. And so how did you do that?
How?
Yeah, what were some of the things that really helped you?
Well, support at home was big.
So you had really good family support.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I did come into the program without a project. So that was kind of a problem. Mm-hmm. Most people come in with an advisor that wants them to do a specific project.
It seems like you and Chris both came in without a project. And so it's really interesting that, I don't know if Melissa came in without a project.
No, she came in with one.
With a project. And
yeah,
so
she came here specifically for a grant for Lassen.
For that. And for the 2 of you, for Chris and you guys were able to actually, and you specifically came up with your own project.
Yeah.
And
so the first semester in 2011, I didn't have anybody that I was working under. I was just taking the graduate classes. And then in spring of 2012, I took the grad seminar with Chris, and normally he doesn't want anybody in there that doesn't already have a project. Yeah. But if I didn't take it then, I wouldn't have graduated when I did. I would be probably a year behind or more, depending on the project. And basically what I did is I started bouncing ideas off of him and, basically telling him what I wanted to do with a project, not, here's a project, now go do it. I wanted to do something that I was passionate about, and that was landslides or geologic hazards. So we developed this project, and he sort of took me under his wing, and after prying at him for an entire semester, he finally agreed.
And so persistence helped?
Persistence, independence. So I set up where I would do my laboratory testing, because we don't have the facilities here for cosmogenic dating, so I had all that lined up. I had where we would do the analysis lined up before he even agreed to be my advisor. So I had everything laid out. So
you came up with a good work plan that you proposed to him, and you actually got funding for that, right?
Yeah, and I got quite a bit of funding independently because there was no funding for a specific project. So I did AEG, GSA. What else did I do? I applied for AAPG, but this was too far.
Funding also? Oh, congratulations, that's not easy.
Yeah, I got AEG Sacramento section and AEG National section, and then the GSA grant, and then a lot of other little ones that the department provides.
So how did you balance doing that with teaching, coursework, your research?
My horrible answer to that is my personality type.
Okay. So it seemed like Chris Bowie just would go home and work all the time, and you also dedicated a lot of time. Like, you would just keep working. There was this persistent work ethic about you guys.
Yeah, if I don't stop, then I get a lot of things done. If I stop and take a break, I get lazy and I don't push myself to make sure everything gets done.
And so for students who maybe they're not making the progress that they want to be making, or they don't even know how to start making progress, what would you recommend? Or do you have a recommendation?
Honestly, I mean, I've seen a couple of our grad students who try to just do school and teaching, and that becomes hard because you don't have that drive, I guess, that motivation to say you need to get this stuff done. This is the only time you have set aside to do this. You have to get it done. And when you do that to yourself, then you're not like, oh, well, I have a few hours, I'll watch Netflix, or I'll go shopping. You don't do that to yourself. You're like, no, I have 2 hours to get this figure done. I have to do it now.
So being really good with time management.
Yeah, but the only way that I'm good with time management is when I have other things blocking my schedule, essentially.
So it helps to be overcommitted.
Yeah, I mean, that's me. It's easy for the advisor to say yes, because he's seen that you've been independent with everything. you can get everything set up for a project without needing them, essentially. And I think that's why Chris and I got along really well, is because he didn't have to babysit me.
Right.
Instead of you having me read a book. I want it to be something that I'm interested in, and then I learn more about it because I'm looking things up. And that's what grad school is about. It's about expanding your knowledge in geology and getting you into a field that you really like. You start out, what on earth am I doing here? And then you get into this is so cool, look at this. Oh, look, I have some information, it's really cool. And then you're like, oh, God, I want out of here. That's kind of how it goes.
I'm using that. I think that you've captured kind of everything that we want